Bella stood at the window, gazing out into the quiet street, feeling the weight of her loneliness. The room behind her was silent, the kind of silence that had followed her for years. Her sisters had their homes filled with laughter, their mornings greeted by children's footsteps. But for Bella, it was just this, an empty room in her parents' house. She turned from the window, glancing at herself in the mirror. Plain. That's all she ever saw. Not ugly, but nothing special. She sighed, brushing her hair back, wondering why she was the only one left unmarried. The village spoke in whispers, one she overheard too often. 30 years old, they said. Still living at home. She could feel the pity in their eyes whenever she passed by. She wanted more than anything to escape that, to have a home of her own, with someone who loved her. But love seemed as distant as the moon. This morning felt no different than any other. She dressed in her usual, simple clothes and made her way to her job as a secretary. Her boss, rushing past her desk, handed her a stack of documents. These need Jasper's signature. Take them up to the penthouse, he said, barely stopping to explain. Bella's heart pounded as she stepped into the elevator. She'd never met the company's founder before. The thought of walking into his office made her hands sweat. When the elevator doors opened, she stepped into a world that seemed far above her own. The secretary at the desk glanced up, her gaze sharp. "Do you have an appointment?" she asked, her voice cold. Bella hesitated. "No, but my boss needs these signed." The secretary huffed, snatching the papers from Bella's hands. "He's busy," she snapped, turning away as if the conversation was over. "I'll wait," Bella said, her voice barely above a whisper, but the secretary wasn't listening. They began to argue when, suddenly, the door behind the desk opened. Jasper stood there, tall and calm, his presence filling the room. He glanced between the two women and smiled. "Let her in," he said, his voice smooth. Bella followed him into the office, her heart thudding in her chest. The room was grand, and the man sitting across from her seemed even more so. Handsome, younger than she expected for a man who ran such a large company. He must have seen the surprise on her face because he chuckled softly. "Skin care," he said, flashing a grin. "Works wonders." Bella blushed, fumbling with the documents. She handed them over, trying to steady her nerves as he signed them, making light conversation. When she finally left, her thoughts raced. Jasper was charming, yes, but why had he been so kind to her? That evening, as Bella was packing up to leave the office, her phone rang. She answered, her voice uncertain. "Bella. It's Jasper. I wanted to apologize for my secretary's behavior earlier. That wasn't right." Her breath caught. Why was he calling her? Surely someone like him had more important things to worry about. But the way he spoke, the warmth in his voice, made her feel noticed. Over the next few weeks, they talked more, and with every conversation, Bella found herself falling for him a little more. Then one day, out of the blue, Jasper appeared at her desk, a casual smile playing on his lips. "Lunch?" he asked. Bella's heart raced. Lunch. With him. She agreed, trying not to show how nervous she was. During lunch, Jasper was the same. Funny, charming, making her feel like she was the only woman in the room. She couldn't believe it. This man, this powerful, handsome man, was interested in her. Their relationship grew quickly, and one evening, while the sun set in the background of a fancy restaurant, Jasper reached across the table and took her hand. "Marry me," he said, his voice soft, but sure. Bella's heart soared. She said yes, not knowing what else to say. It felt like a dream, a whirlwind of attention, romance, and something she had wanted for so long. When she told her family, they were overjoyed, especially her parents, who had long since given up hope that Bella would ever find a husband. Her sisters looked on, some with jealousy, others with disbelief. How had Bella, plain old Bella, ended up with someone like Jasper? But no one asked questions. They only celebrated. The wedding was grand, more beautiful than Bella could have ever imagined. And then the honeymoon, Kampala, Bella's dream city. She couldn't believe it. The luxury, the excitement of a new life, everything felt perfect. But on their first night, something changed. Jasper, after a lovely evening out, grew distant. His smiles faded, replaced by a quiet tension that Bella couldn't understand. She asked if something was wrong, but he brushed her off, saying he was tired. Still, something gnawed at her. Later, as Bella lay in bed, waiting for him to join her, she heard the bathroom door creak open. Her eyes widened as Jasper stepped out, dressed in women's lingerie. Bella sat up, her heart pounding, her mind racing. Jasper sat beside her, his face drawn, his eyes avoiding hers. "I need to tell you something," he began, his voice low. "I don't feel attracted to women. I never have." Bella couldn't speak, her thoughts swirling in confusion. "I thought we could help each other," he continued. "You needed a husband, and I needed respectability. We'll be a couple in public, but live separate lives in private." Bella's world shattered in that moment. She had believed in him, believed in the life they were supposed to have together. But now it was all a lie. "And the lingerie," she whispered, barely able to form the words. Jasper looked away. "It makes me feel comfortable. I didn't want to hide anything from you." Bella sat on the balcony of their honeymoon suite, staring at the ocean, but it felt distant, like everything else. The gentle waves that once calmed her now seemed to mock her. She hadn't spoken to Jasper since the argument. His words, his lie, had broken something deep inside her. She had thought their life together would be filled with love and trust, but now she felt trapped in a marriage that wasn't real. Jasper, sensing her withdrawal, tried to explain himself, offering excuses that felt more like chains. "You'll understand in time, Bella," he had said. But she couldn't. How could she understand a secret like his? And when it became clear that she would never accept what he had done, his warmth turned cold. His voice, once soft, was now hard. He threatened her. If she ever spoke of his secret or tried to leave, he would ruin her. He would destroy her reputation and make sure her life was a nightmare. Bella sat there, numb, feeling trapped. When they returned home, the suffocating routine began. Bella forced a smile at dinners, laughed at parties, but inside she was crumbling. She felt like a prisoner in her own life. Jasper gave her a choice: work or stay home. She chose to stay, but only because the idea of living out there in the world, pretending everything was fine, was too much. Every day felt like a cage closing tighter around her. Time passed, and every few months, Bella would find herself pleading with Jasper. "Please, let me go. I'll take your secret to my grave." But Jasper, as always, would laugh, reminding her that she owed him. "Without me, you'd be nothing. You'd still be a secretary living with your parents," he said. His arrogance was unbearable, as if the life he had given her was something she should be thankful for. She wasn't thankful. She felt like she had lost everything. After 3 years of this, Bella couldn't take it anymore. She applied for a job in the city, away from Jasper, away from the villa that had become her prison. She got it. For the first time in a long time, Bella felt free. She woke up each morning with something to look forward to: her job, her coworkers, and the small piece of normalcy that came with being away from Jasper. It was at work that she met Noah. He was kind, thoughtful, and more than anything, he listened. Bella hadn't realized how lonely she had become until she met him. Over lunches and coffee breaks, she found herself opening up to him, sharing pieces of her story, her pain. Noah's anger for how Jasper treated her made her feel seen. He couldn't understand how someone could be so cruel. One night, after a long day at work, Bella sat across from Noah in a small cafe. The air between them was charged with something unspoken. "I feel like I've known you forever," Noah said, his eyes soft as they met hers. Bella felt her heart stir for the first time in years. They were more than friends now, though neither of them said it. In her mind, Bella was no longer married. She was free to love again, and Noah was her future. But then one evening, everything changed. Bella walked into the kitchen and froze. There was Noah, sitting at the table, speaking quietly with Jasper. Her heart pounded in her chest. This was wrong. This was all wrong. Jasper turned, a slow smile spreading across his face. "Do you know Noah?" Jasper asked, his voice smooth and cold. Bella nodded, feeling a sinking dread. "He's been very helpful," Jasper continued. "I've made him an offer he can't refuse." "What are you talking about?" Bella's voice shook, though she tried to stay calm. Jasper's smile widened. "I've decided we're getting a divorce," he said, casually. "But not before you sleep with Noah and have a son. After that, the boy will be mine, and you can go off with Noah. Simple." Bella stared, her stomach turning. "What if it's a girl?" she whispered. "Then you'll keep trying until I get my son," Jasper replied, as if this was the most reasonable thing in the world. Bella looked at Noah, searching for some sign that this was a mistake, that he didn't agree to this. But his face was calm. He nodded. "Jasper promised we'd be set for life," Noah said, almost too casually. "It's a good deal for everyone, Bella." Bella's heart broke in that moment. Noah had been bought. She was alone again. But something clicked inside her. She wasn't going to let them control her anymore. So she smiled, a slow, calculated smile. "All right," she said, surprising them both. "But I want it in writing. If I give you a son, I'm free. No more games." Jasper, smug, agreed. They drew up the contract, and Bella signed it. Noah signed it too, eager for their future. But Bella had a plan. The day came, and Bella returned to the villa, her heart pounding but her mind clear. Jasper led Noah to the guest room, ready for their twisted plan to unfold. Bella took a deep breath, stepped into the room, but before anything could happen, there was a loud bang on the door. Police officers stormed in. Jasper was furious, shouting about how they had no right to be there. But the officers pushed past him, demanding to speak with Bella. "Are you all right?" one of them asked, his eyes filled with concern. Bella stood tall, her voice steady. "No, I'm not all right. I'm being forced to do this." That was all the police needed to hear. Jasper and Noah were handcuffed, their faces twisted in shock as they were led away. Jasper hissed at Bella as he passed. "You'll regret this." But Bella leaned in, her voice soft and deadly. "I have evidence. If you try to fight me, I'll destroy you." Jasper knew he had lost. In the end, Bella won her freedom. She divorced Jasper, taking half of his wealth. For the first time in years, she was free, truly free. She moved away from the villa, starting over in a place where she could breathe again. Bella didn't rush into anything. She took her time, learning to trust again. And slowly, that flicker of hope that had been buried deep inside her began to grow. The dream of motherhood, of love, wasn't gone. It was just waiting for the right time. And one day that time came. A new love entered Bella's life, one built on trust and kindness. And soon, she became a mother, holding the baby she had dreamed of for so long. Her heart, once shattered, was whole again. The sun shone brighter, and Bella smiled. She had found her happy ending. If this story resonated with you and you're looking for more uplifting and inspiring tales, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's explore stories that highlight the incredible strength of the human spirit and the blessings life brings. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm excited to share more stories with you in the next video. Remember, embrace the positivity around you and believe in the incredible beauty of life. Let's keep inspiring one another.